Walang work experience kaya hindi ma-hire, pero hindi na-hire kaya hindi nagkakaroon ng work experience. Paano na yan? Pag-usapan natin yan sa video na ito.
This video is brought to you by the Team Leica Review books. More about these later.
Hi there, welcome to the Get Hired series where I try to help you get hired. Now we have more job application and career tips for you, so don't forget to subscribe or follow para makatch nyo yung mga yon. And of course, you can check out yung ating playlist ng common job interview questions and how to answer those while you're waiting for the newer versions and newer videos na paparating pa lang. Today, we're going to talk about a topic na I kind of skirted around, danced around sa past 10 years dito sa Get Hired. Kasi ang hirap niyang pag-usapan. Now, I am acknowledging the fact that this is a struggle for a lot of people. Hindi lang Filipinos, pero all over the world, yan ang problema. And yes, posible na, alam niyo yun, may backer system, posible na may mapolitika kayo, posible na magkaroon ng palakasan, posible may mga inherent biases ang mga hiring at recruitment managers that could keep you from having opportunities. I-acknowledge natin yung fact na mahirap siya. Mahirap maghanap ng trabaho. But, paano kung may gusto kang gawin about it? Paano kung may pangangailangan? At natural naman na lahat tayo, lalo na pagka-graduate, gustong makatrabaho. Ano yung pwede nating gawin? Now, itong payo na ito ay manggagaling sa aking karanasan as someone na nanggaling dun sa both sides of the table, kumbaga. Someone na nag-apply din for jobs and someone na pumili rin amongst people applying for a certain position or opportunity. Okay? Hindi siya absolute, hindi siya ideal, pero yun ang realidad. Kalma lang. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 E's that could help you get hired kahit wala ka pang work experience. And of course, kung ano yung mga pwede nyong gawin sa ilalim ng 3 E na yon. Okay? Number 1, E for exposure. Kung wala kang work experience, work to have work exposure. Now, ano may pinagkaiba ng mga bagay na yan? I-credit ko dito si Tita Girly Corda. Siya yung unang nag-introduce sa akin ng concept na to way back when I was still a student. Ibang work exposure sa work experience. Yung work experience is actual real life na experience as an employee. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Na-hire ka talaga, may napirmahang kontrata, may sweldo na regular, yun yung work experience. Pero yung work exposure is different kasi kahit na hindi ka pa proper employee, pwede mo siyang ilagay sa iyong resume, sa iyong CV, kumbaga, as something to prove na pwede ka sa posisyon na gusto mong pasukan. Now, ano ba yung work exposure? Para madaling tandaan, I want you to remember the word give. Now, give dahil in a lot of ways, and again, some people may disagree with me sa bagay na ito, pero when it comes to work exposure, it's a lot of giving involved sa proseso. You give your time, your effort, and in return, you get maybe a bit of compensation. But more than that, again, real-world experience that could help you prove the point na hireable ka talaga. So, ano yung iyong i-give? Let's start with the first letter, G. Gig work. Para madaling tandaan, ito yung mga project-based na mapagkakakitaan. Sa case ko dati, to prove that I have good communication skills, instead of just writing it sa resume, I used to write na nag-host ako ng events. And I used to joke pa sa hiring managers na I hosted everything from birth to death, kasi literal, no? So, binyag hanggang sa lamay, hanggang sa libing. Tinanggap ko yung mga gig work na yan, even as a student, even as a young person, at sa totoo lang, kahit yung iba sa kanila, hindi naman bayad. Minsan, abonado ka pa ng pamasahe. Pwede pumasok yung poster designing, anything that you get paid a little, no, kahit papaano. Siyempre, mas maganda kung meron kang portfolio, lalo na if you're into creative work, para mo mapapatunayan na graphic designer ka talaga for a graphic design position, para mo mapapatunayan na kaya mong mag-film, kaya mong mag-edit ng videos, kaya kahit na hindi pa ako na-employ fully or sa full-time na basis, napapatunayan na you have the skills required. So again, G for gig work. Now, ano naman yung I? Yung I is straightforward, internships. So if you're watching this at estudyante ka pa lang, this is the perfect time for you to think about this. At the time I'm filming this, medyo summer break ng iba or pa-summer break na. So isip-isipin nyo yan. Mag-apply kayo for internships sa iba't ibang mga company. There are paid internships out there. At hindi ko man kayo i-handhold papunta sa opportunities na ito, let me say with confidence na yung mga naghahanap ay nakakakita. And yes, kahit sa Facebook, may mga opportunities na ganito posted. Nasa sa inyo yan kung hahanapin nyo yung mga bagay na yon. Pwede pa nga kayong mag-reach out dun sa mga kumpanya to offer yourself as an intern just in case na you missed the window na nagkumukuha sila ng interns or talagang gusto mong maging part ng company na yon or gusto mo talagang magkaroon ng experience under their wing. Ako personally, sa Team Laika, we are always looking for interns. But again, doon na papasok yung sino ba yung may initiative and sino ba yung nadaan dun sa buong proseso. Kung ang pinag-uusapan paghahanap pa lang ng posting, hindi na magawa, so medyo problema yon lalo na dun sa pangatlong E sa conversation na ito. Now, third letter is V. V for volunteer work. Now, I know that times are hard, mahirap na mag-volunteer work, lalo na kung walang compensation. But I'm saying this, again, based sa aking experience as a volunteer for different organizations before. Now, nag-volunteer ako as a values ed teacher for Voice. It's an organization din. So, doon nanggaling yung aking, kumbaga, panimulang experience sa pagtuturo. Kasi I used to go sa Flora Ilagan High School para magturo sa mga bata doon. And yes, estudyante pa ako noon. So, ang proseso noon was you're going to get training, may mga materials din, and then you go to the schools assigned na slot mo. And dito rin papasok yung if you're part of a church or a religious organization or any type of organization, maybe the Rotary Club, Lions Club, whatever. Kung meron kayong volunteer work under those organizations, those can also count as exposure. For me, back then, bilang PK, Pastor's Kid, na, ayun, nagsubok na buhayin ang mga iba't ibang ministries, na buhatin yung sistema at alam niyo, ayusin ang lahat ng kaya kong ayusin within the church. Those helped me learn and gather skills and experience na pwede ko ring idagdag sa resume ko as work exposure. And some of you may not think of it that way, but imagine being, siguro at that time, 19 years old, 20 years old, and organizing youth camps from end to end. Ano yung mga projects naging bahagi ka? Ano yung mga ginawa mo doon? Nag-lead ka ba? Nag-project manage ka ba? These are real-world skills na napatunayan mo nang magagawa mo dahil sa volunteer work mo. So again, don't be afraid to volunteer. If you're young, honestly, time is what you have. So you can spend that time wisely. Now, ano yung E? E is for extracurriculars. Yan na. Hiniwalay ko yung school orgs at yung mga kailangan nyo gawin sa eskwelahan. Kung ikaw ay nag-sports, kung ikaw ay nag-assist din sa professors ninyo, ano yung mga ginagawa ninyo? School adjacent, kumbaga. Na hindi necessarily just for grades. So if you're watching this as a student at mag-start ng bagong school year, you may want to rethink your action plan for your future. So again, the first E is exposure, give. Gig work, internship, volunteer work, and extracurriculars. The second E is education on top of education. Anong ibig sabihin ko dyan? Ito yung upskilling na tinatawag. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang yung natutuhan mo sa school, but yung mga inaral mo sa labas ng school. This is different sa extracurriculars kasi this is more skills-based. Certificate programs, short courses, free open courses, at marami niyan online ha. Hahanapin nyo lang siya. Now, I say this with confidence kasi nakatulong talaga yan sa akin, lalo na nung fresh grad pa ako kasi I literally had a binder ng certificates galing sa MOOCs. These are short courses or programs offered purely online. Nung time na yon, a long time ago, mas konti pa siya. Mas marami na siya ngayon. And in fact, yung UP itself, the University of the Philippines, offers some of those. And ako mismo, kung may pagkakataon, I still enroll dun sa mga ganun, and I still complete those certificates. Another thing, pwede rin kayong mag-check sa TESDA. Yes, dahil nagbabayad tayo lahat ng buwis, deserve mo yan. Deserve mong makinabang sa mga programa na ganito. But again, there will be no hand-holding in this channel. You will need to look for those opportunities, find them, maraming online, no? And mag-effort na tapusin sila. Now, bakit ko sinasabing mahalaga yung pangalawang E, or education on top of your education? Kasi, maraming hiring managers, maraming bosses ang naghahanap ng isang trait sa kanilang mga aplikante. That trait is your teachability. Pwede ba? Handa ba? Willing ka bang matuto? Siyempre, pagdating mo dun sa kumpanya at pag upo mo dun sa bago mong role, may training involved dyan. At kung nasa fast-paced kayong industriya, kung saan maraming laging kailangang matutuhan, kailangan ma-prove mo na ikaw yung tipo ng tao na hindi takot matuto. When I was young, lagi sinasabi ng mga tao sa akin, well, around me, na mahirap daw maging teacher kasi lagi kang mag-aaral. And nakakalungkot na ganun yung framing nun kasi hindi lang naman teachers ang dapat na laging nag-aaral. Kahit sa ang industriya, lalo na sa panahon ngayon, lalo na sa panahon ng AI, dapat lagi kang handang matuto, mag-upskill, maghanap ng opportunities for yourself. So again, proving that you're actively looking for opportunities na magkaroon ka ng education on top of your current education shows that you're that type of person. Dito na tayo sa number 3.
This is a great opportunity for me to introduce the Team Laika review books. And yes, books siya. Kasi we have the practice test booklets. Booklets kasi ang katumbas niya ay 4 na booklets or 4 na sets ng aptitude tests. Each set already has math, language, analytical reasoning, and general information questions. Of course, the answer key, answer sheets so you can practice shading, at more than that, an exclusive QR code that you can scan para makita ninyo kung paano ko sinosolve ang mga problems na ito. It includes discussions on some super secret techniques that I use para siguraduhin makatipid ng oras sa exam at syempre, makapasa. You also have the workbook number 1, hindi siya multiple choice questions pero it's designed to practice your skills para naman ready ka sa fundamentals mo. Skills, techniques, and it's best to use them together. If you're interested, go ahead and message us sa m.me/teamlaika to figure out how we can get these to you. Sa mga bumili na at bibili pa, maraming salamat sa inyo. Thank you for helping me help more people by buying these kasi these help us fund what we do here sa channel na to. Kung hindi dahil sa inyo, it'll be harder for me to make all these free content. So, thank you sa inyong lahat. And now, back to the video.
This E, if you think about it, is quite hard to prove at weird naman ding ilagay doon sa mismong resume mo. That E is effort. Uulitin ko. Effort. And I'm going to say something that may be a little bit spicy, pero ito ay purely galing sa karanasan at sa mga conversations ko with hiring managers from all over. And if you are one, feel free to comment sa baba kung totoo ito ha, kasi hindi lang naman isang tao yung nagsabi sa akin. Pero one thing that they're struggling with daw, finding, ay people who have grit, people who are not easy or quick to quit. Ibig sabihin nun, marami ang nakapasok sa kumpanya, pero kapag medyo nahirapan na, o kaya kapag hindi na madaling pinag-uusapan, kapag nagkamali ng minsan, nag-aal sa balutan. Now, syempre, iba ang usapan to kung merong abuse na nangyayari doon sa kumpanya. Pero, a healthy level of difficulty, struggle, or yung growing pains, kumbaga, ay normal sa kahit anong bagong role. So now, hiring managers are actively looking for people who don't just have the skills, but have the right attitude. At kahit magtanong kayo, kung may makakilala kayo, kung ang pipiliin ba nila ay yung tao na mas malaman ng resume pero parang hindi maganda yung effort o yung ma-effort kahit na kulang-kulang pa or bumibungi pa yung existing skills, I bet most of them would say they value attitude and effort more. So paano mo mapapakita na ma-effort kang tao with just your resume, with just the interview, yung interactions before and after that? Remember this, RSVP. And yes, RSVP hindi dun sa handaan ha. Ginamit ko yung RSVP kasi if you think about RSVPing for something, ang ibig sabihin nun is beforehand pa lang, nagpakita ka na ng initiative, kumbaga, to say na pupunta ka o hindi. It's doing something before the event. Ito rin yung konteksto ng showcase ng effort mo. RSVP stands for number 1, R for research. Sinabi ko na to in other Get Hired videos, pero it's very important for you to research kung ano ba yung kumpanya gusto mong pasukan, ano yung role na yon, values nila, industry nila, anong mga pwede mong mas-cover sa internet na detalye that could help you stand out. Kung pupunta ka sa kumpanya at ang nabasa mo lang okay, naghahanap sila ng account manager. And then they ask you, anong accounts ang gusto mo or dream accounts mo to handle or to work with, tapos napaisip ka, ano yun? Ano ba yung account manager? Nagbibilang ba yun? Medyo kulang tayo sa research. Yun ang ibig sabihin niya. So again, R for research. Second thing, S. S for S-awareness. Ano ba yung S-awareness na yun? Two things. Self-awareness. You need to be self-aware. You need to know who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses. You need to know how to manage yourself. And S for situational awareness. I keep telling people that it's very important for you to read the room. But I feel like I need to reiterate that dito sa conversation na to, knowing that there will be viewers out there na medyo mas younger na sa akin in age. We understand the struggles doon sa post-pandemic na shift, kumbaga. People who spent their formative years or at least key years ng buhay nila in front of a screen na, again, halos hindi tayo gumagalaw kapag nasa screen ka, di ba? Or kapag nagpe-present ka, you're unable to read yung expressions ng people around you. Or be sensitive doon sa nakasimangot pa ba o nakangiti. Am I taking this too far o hindi? May mga pwede ba akong i-anticipate na needs ng mga people around the room? Baka hindi masyadong na-test, sabihin na natin, yung situational awareness ninyo. Now, I'm not saying that to insult you or to put you down. I'm saying that this is a skill that all of us can keep working on. Honestly, nung sinusulat ko yung outline nitong video na ito, inisip ko kung sasabihin ko ba tong bagay na to. Pero yung pakikiramdam kasi ay napakahalaga to show your effort, to show that you are a good team player, that you are pleasant to work with. And again, in a world where this is no longer at the forefront or sobrang importante para sa iba, magandang opportunity for you to stand out kung meron ka nito. Honestly, napapractice naman din. Napapractice ang tumingin sa mata ng kausap, napapractice ang tamang manners, kumbaga, sa pagkatok, sa pagbubukas ng pinto. These are little things that you may be out of practice when it comes to application. Little things that could mean a lot pagdating sa interview or sa job application. Think of it this way. Kung ako yung hiring manager, tapos merong 5 aplikante, pero isa lang ang nagpasalamat pagkatapos ng interview, sa tingin ninyo, sino yung magpo-portray sa akin ng more effort or better attitude? Diba syempre nag-thank you? And again, when you have little to no work experience, it's those little things that could crack the door of opportunity for you. Number 3, V for visibility. Ito medyo kailangan din natin pag-usapan. Now, years back, when I made one of my Get Hired videos and I talked about how your social media presence should be something you look at before ka mag-apply sa trabaho, maraming nagalit sa akin. Maraming nagalit sa internet kasi bakit kailangan ko pang linisin yung social media ko kung maghanap ako ng trabaho, ano mong pakialam nila dyan? Now again, I'm not saying this because I totally agree, but I'm saying this because this is still being done in practice. Kumusta ang iyong visibility? At anong aspeto ng pagkatao mo ang visible publicly? Kasi kung tutuusin, yun lang naman talaga ang accessible doon sa hiring manager or potential boss mo. Now, when I get invited sa mga HR conference or when I talk to bosses, and I've had the opportunity to do that, I would sometimes squeeze in itong question na ito. Ginugoogle nyo ba yung applicants bago yung interview or after? And again, lahat ng ito ay sa experience ko lang ha. Masasabi ko na majority of them still do. So think about your visibility. What type of content do you produce publicly? Ano yung online persona mo? And sa visibility na rin, ano rin yung visible sa'yo physically? Kasi again, when it comes to applying for a job, looking for opportunities, isipin nyo na limitado yung oras ng taong makakausap ninyo or nung mag-evaluate sa inyo. So syempre, they could only go off of kung ano yung nakikita nila. There will be bosses, and those are great ones, I feel, who will give you the benefit of the doubt. Who, na kahit nagkalat, kumbaga, tayo sa interview or hindi tayo nag-perform to the best of our ability, will see potential and still give us a chance. Meron talaga nun. But, kung mahahanap mo sila agad, o kung pipiliin ka rin nila, kung ang kalaban mo sa posisyon mas nag-research, mas nakikiramdam, at mas maayos ang portrayal ng sarili nila, hindi natin na masasabi. Now, yung fourth one is P for preparedness. And yes, hiniwalay ko pa yung research dun sa preparedness. Kasi research is making an effort to know what you should beforehand. Preparedness is making sure that you've done everything you could beforehand. Anong pinagkaiba niyan? Mentally prepared ka ba for an interview? Can you at least introduce yourself with confidence? Prepared ka rin ba sa requirements? Handa ka ba sa tanong na kung willing kang maging flexible ang work hours mo or to relocate? Preparing for something, having ready answers to these common questions shows na nag-exert ka ng effort even before meeting yung hiring manager mo. Ready to start ka na ba? Kailan ka magsa-start? Or at least alam mo kung gaano katagal mo sila paghihintayin bago yung sagot mo. Kasi kung tatanungin ka nila ng difficult questions like this and ang sagot mo ay tatanong ko muna po sa mama ko, medyo red flag yon. And I said that kasi naikwento sa akin. So again, show that you're the type of person who puts in yung effort required by RSVPing. Doing your research, having self and situational awareness, being mindful of your visibility online and offline, and of course, preparing or having preparedness bago ka pa sumabak sa interview. That's it muna for now. My name is Laika Maravilla, and I'm hoping these tips help you get hired.